Om. 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 Antarjyotihi Bahirjyotihi Pratyajyotihi Paratparaha Jyotirjyotihi Swayam Jyotihi Atmajyotihi Shivosmyaham. I am the supreme light of awareness, illuminating the outer world of objects, inner world of thoughts, and deep sleep state. I am divine light of the nature of auspicious Shivaswarupi. Om Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru is the creator, preserver, Guru is transformer, Guru is the absolute Lord himself, with creation and beyond. Salutations to that Shri Guru. Om Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru can guide us to the supreme knowledge of that which pervades all the living and non-living beings in the entire universe, namely Brahman. I salute such a Guru. Narayana Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Beginning with Narayana to Adi Shankaracharya in between and up to my own preceptor, I bow with reverence to the entire tradition of preceptors, beginning with Sadashiva through Adi Shankaracharya in between and up to my own preceptor. I bow with reverence to the entire tradition of preceptors.
Thank you very much, Rupaji. Hari Om and welcome all the divine Atma Jyotis to today's AVSC Satsang. Hari Om Saravananji, Hari Om Deepaji.
Hari Om sir. Hari Om everyone.
Hari Om.
Okay. So Arjunji will be today taking us through the second stanza. So he'll be singing and then we can go through interpretation, short interpretation. And then we will go into our AVSC questions and answers.
Can I sing the first and second stanza both?
Yes, sir.
It will give continuity, that's all.
Yes, yes.
ಏಳು ಮೇಲೇಳೇಳು ಸಾಧುವೆ ಹಾಡು ಚಾಗಿಯ ಹಾಡನು ಹಾಡಿನಿಂದ ಚರಿಸು ಮಲಗಿಹ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ತಾಯಿ ನಾಡನು ದೂರದಡವಿಯಳೆಲ್ಲಿ ಲೌಕಿಕ ವಿಷಯ ವಾಸನೆ ಮುಟ್ಟದೋ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಗಿರಿಗುಹ ಕಂದರದ ಬಳಿ ಜಗದ ಗಲಿಬಿಲಿ ತಟ್ಟದೋ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಮವು ಸುಳಿಯದೋ ಮೇಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಜೀವವು ತಿಳಿಯದೋ ಕೀರ್ತಿ ಕಾಂಚನವೆಂಬ ವಾಸಗಳಿಂದ ಜನಿಸುವ ಭ್ರಾಂತಿಯ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಆತ್ಮವು ಪಡೆದು ನಲಿಯುವ ನಿಚ್ಚವಾಗಿಯ ಶಾಂತಿಯ ನನ್ನಿ ಅರಿವಾನಂದ ವಾಹಿನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂತತ ಹರಿವುದೋ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಎಡೆಬಿಡದಿರದ ತೃಪ್ತಿಯು ಝರೆ ನಿರಂತರ ಸುರಿಯುವುದೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂಡಿದ ಹಾಡನೊಲಿಯೈ ವೀರ ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂಡಿದ ಹಾಡನೊಲಿಯೈ ವೀರ ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ಓಂ ತತ್ಸತ್ ಓಂ ತತ್ಸತ್ ಓಂ ಬೆಳೆಯ ಕೊಯ್ವನು ಬಿತ್ತಿದಾತನು ಪಾಪ ಪಾಪಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ ವೃಕ್ಷ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬೀಜ ಕಾರಣ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಪುಣ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ ಹುಟ್ಟಿ ಮೈ ಒಡೆದಾತ್ಮ ಬಾಳಿನ ಬಲೆಯು ತಪ್ಪದೆ ಹೊರುವುದೋ ಕಟ್ಟು ಮೀರಿನ ನಾವನಿರುವನು ಕಟ್ಟು ಕಟ್ಟನೆ ಹೆರುವುದೋ ಎಂದು ಪಂಡಿತರೆಂಬರು ಮೇಲ್ತತ್ವದರ್ಶಿಗಳೆಂಬರು ಆತ್ಮವೆಂಬುದು ನಾಮರೂಪ ತೀತವು ಮುಕ್ತಿ ಬಂಧುಗಳಿಲ್ಲದಾತ್ಮವು ಸರ್ವ ನಿಯಮಾತೀತವು ತತ್ವಮಸಿ ಎಂದರಿತು ಸಾಧುವೆ ಹಾಡು ಚಾಗಿಯ ಹಾಡನು ಹಾಡಿನಿಂದೆಚ್ಚರಿಸು ಮಲಗಿಹ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ತಾಯ್ ನಾಡನು ಸಾರು ಸಿದ್ಧನೆ ವಿಶ್ವವರಿಯಲಿ ಹಾಡು ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ಸಾರು ಸಿದ್ಧನೆ ವಿಶ್ವವರಿಯಲಿ ಹಾಡು ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ಓಂ ತತ್ಸತ್ ಓಂ ತತ್ಸತ್ ಓಂ
Excellent, Arjun Sahib. You always were fond of singing, or how did this come into you?
My mother was a very good singer, and my grandfather, it seems, was a musician in the Asthana of Krishnadeva Rajendra Vadiyar. That is the thing, and he was a pianist, and he was deaf, but he could only tune the piano very well. That was his this thing. So I think the lineage comes, but it was cultured, and this song especially, when from the time I met Guruji, he always wanted me to sing this song, and that's how this song. So now also, if I sing any other song, he'll say, no, you sing that song.
Very nice.
Actually, I got a group of people. We meet at 2:30 on Sundays. We practice this song so that we can present before Guruji on Guru Purnima Day.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to bring up the lyrics?
I will bring. If you can give me a screen share, I'll do it.
I have given you the screen
I'll
share.
do that. Yeah. I brought the lyrics. ಬೆಳೆ ಕುಯ್ವನು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದಾತ್ಮನು ಪಾಪ ಪಾಪಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ.
Yeah.
Arjunji, please provide a recording of this song as you sang now.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Actually, it's very catchy and feels good. Maybe I will also try sometimes.
Absolutely, why not? You join. You can also join at 2:30. You can definitely be there. Any time permits.
Also the lyrics, Arjunji.
I will do that. I'll send the lyrics also.
No, we want the copy of the lyrics.
Yeah, I'll send you.
Okay, sir.
I'll send you, ma'am.
So the central message of stanza 1 was to awaken us to that song. Which song? Om Tat Sat. And where is that song heard? In the silence, where no disturbance of the world or no activity of the world can ever touch it. And it is deep within you. And realize that is what Vivekananda called out in the first stanza. Awaken to that song, realize that song, sing that song, is what Vivekananda is saying in the first stanza. The second stanza now, ಬೆಳೆಯ ಕೊಡುವನು ಬಿತ್ತಿದಾತನು ಪಾಪ ಪಾಪಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ ವೃಕ್ಷ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬೀಜ ಕಾರಣ ಪುಣ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ. Excellent. So this is about karma. So what is the basis of what we have in life? If there is a fruit, there must be a seed. Now, papa ke karana. So unpleasant things in my life, sadness, worry, tension, irritation, anger, jealousy, if these are the fruits I'm experiencing, what is the seed for that? The seed is also within me as such deeds or work or thoughts. So if these things are unpleasant, in a way, when we call as naraka, right? We have this concept of swarga and naraka. Don't know if there is ever a place called swarga and naraka, but here, when I am living in my life, there can be naraka. When there is sadness, irritation, worry, anger, jealousy, fighting, right? So, and how do we say somebody goes to naraka? Papa. Papa is in our book of accounting, something good is punya, something bad is papa. So the result, the papa, what is the cause of the result called papa? Papa ke karana. Anger breeds anger, jealousy breeds jealousy, revenge breeds revenge. So like that, the root cause of my own misery is my own fundamental thinking pattern. So I need to wake up to what is the cause of my own suffering. So papa ke karana. And here Vivekananda is giving us the example, vruksha karyake bija karana. If vruksha is tree, is vruksha is seen as a outcome or a result. Karya is kind of like the outcome. What is the karana? What is the cause of that? Bija karana. So if there is a mango tree, mango seed must be there. If there is a whatever other tree that you don't want, which you don't like, then there must be a seed for that also. So vruksha karyake bija karana. Just like that, if there is some pleasantness, happiness, pleasure, that is also something based on some thought behind it, some previous action behind it. So this is the cycle of karma, as we know. This is the papa punya. So we in other words, we seek pleasure, we avoid unpleasantness. We want pleasantness, we do not want unpleasantness in life. So we are constantly doing actions to bring about more and more pleasantness, right? So then he goes on to say how to become free from this cycle. This is a cycle that all of us are caught in, the karma cycle. Please help me, Arjunji. Putti, what is the next one?
ಹುಟ್ಟಿ ಮೈ ಒಡೆದಾತ್ಮ ಬಾಳಿನ ಬಲೆಯು ತಪ್ಪದೆ ಹೊರುವುದು.
So the moment you are embodied, when you are in the body-mind complex, when you are shining through the body-mind complex, then this bale of jivana, in other words, this maya, so this karma, this papa punya, this karya karana, this is unavoidable. As long as you and I are in this plane of existence, where this is the nature of how this plane works. There is no point in screaming about it, cribbing about it, worrying about it. This jala, this maya jala is unavoidable. But what is possible is realizing that this is how it works. This is the nature of it. Nature of the fire is to burn. Nature of the water is to be formless. Nature of the wind is to move. So realize the nature of how this entire Maya Jala is. There is no way to escape from that, in the sense of I can go away from it somewhere else and I can live. That is never going to happen. In one sense, it is like saying that this is the Maya Jala. Then how can I be free from this Maya Jala? Can I go to some place where there is no such Maya Jala? There is no place. We all keep searching, no? We go on vacation also. Why? To become free from what? From our day-to-day life. What do we generally say it as? I want to relax. Oh, I'm taking a vacation. I want to relax. So relaxation is possible only when you take a vacation, is a concept in which we work. Is it true? Not necessarily. Even to go to that vacation, there is so much of planning, preparation, go there, run there. For what? There is this nice little story, of a family which went to Goa, looking at all the brochures and a lot of preparation and everything. And then early in the morning, they all woke up, the children and everybody. Wake up, wake up. It's 5:30, you have to go and see the sunrise. Okay, everybody is waking up and the children are, we usually wake up late. No, today you have to see the sunrise. Come. They go sit in front of the ocean and then they're waiting with their cameras on, and everybody is waiting. It is 6:30, 7:30, 8:30. It is broad daylight. The sunrise hasn't happened at all. And they go and rush to the manager and then they scream at him. You lousy fellows, look at this, look at your brochures. They show such lovely pictures. The sunrise did not even happen today. They say, and the manager says, ma'am, sir, please calm down. Please calm down. You know where you are? They say, yes, we know. We are in Goa. But I'm asking, how come the sunrise did not happen today? Sir, the Goa is in the west coast, sir. You can only see sunset. You cannot see the sunrise, sir. So like that, we are constantly seeking some kind of a relaxation somewhere else. Somewhere else I can relax. Here, in my home, in my family, with my husband and wife and children and in-laws and brothers and sisters, boss, employees. Oh my God, don't tell me about it. It is impossible to relax there. This is what I have to escape. Correct? No. This is what all of us are seeking to escape. I want to escape from here and relax somewhere else. Where is that somewhere else? That is what our Vivekananda is telling next. Can you please help us with the next line, sir?
Sir, ಈಗ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ ಮೈ ಒಡೆದ ಆತ್ಮ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಸರ್? ಒಡೆದ ಆತ್ಮ.
Odedatma means, I think, it's like how a seed comes out. No? It comes out. So the formless has now in a way appeared in this form, Odedatma. So the previous karma in the form of a seed has led to this body and mind.
Correct. Good. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕಟ್ಟು ಮೀರಿಹ ನಾವನಿರುವನು ಕಟ್ಟನೆ ಹೆರುವುದು.
So I think nava ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಹುಡುಕೋಣ. ನಾವ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು?
ನಾವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೋಣಿ. ದೋಣಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ದೋಣಿನ ದೋಣಿಗಾರನ?
ನಾವನಿರುವನು. ಓಕೆ. ಕಟ್ಟು ಮೀರಿಹ ನಾವನಿರುವನು. ಓಕೆ. ಎರಡೂ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಎರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಇರ್ಬೋದು.
Kattu miriha. See, kattu here, I feel is referring to limitations. Kattu miriha nava. There is something which is beyond all these limitations. I think that is the way it is appearing to me. So far he has spoken about limitations. No, in the whatever we discussed so far, it's about limitations. There is vrukshake bija karana. So there is a cause and effect. So there is this maya jala, this limitation of karma. So far he has introduced us to that limitation, but now he is pointing to kattu miriha nava niruvano kattu kattane heruvudu. Kattu miriha. So here nava niruvano. Next line heli inansati.
ಎಂದು ಪಂಡಿತರೆಂಬರು ಮೇಲ್ ತತ್ವದರ್ಶಿಗಳು ಎಂಬರು.
So this is very clear. The realized ones are saying this. Okay, what are they saying? That is what this line is referring to. Kattu miriha nava niruvano kattu kattane
heruvudu.
Nava
liberated from this bondage.
So kattu is bondage. Yeah, bondage only leads to bondage. Limitation in thinking only leads to limitation. Yeah, so kattu kattane heruvudu. Heruvudu means to give birth. Ignorance only breeds ignorance is probably one of the way we can interpret it. Kattu miriha nava niruvudu. Okay, so we can probably think like this. Freedom breeds, there is a freedom that is possible. Ignorance only continues to breed ignorance. And this is the realization of Pandita, of the Tattva-darshina. So the ones who have realized Tattva-darshina. Tattva means essence. Darshina means one who has realized. Tattva-darshana. So one who has realized the essence, or the Panditas, are referring to this. What are they referring? That ignorance breeds ignorance only, but there is beyond ignorance. Kattu miriha nava niruvudo. So nava, I think if we know the Kannada word.
Sir, is it telling about the Atma which does not have any limit?
Correct. That is what it is talking about, but I'm looking for the particular word nava. Kattu miriha nava niruvudo. They're saying, right? Nava niruvudo.
Yeah.
Kattu, beyond bondage, kattu miriha nava. What is that word called nava is what I am looking for. The essence is like this, I think, which is there is freedom beyond all this bondage, because this ignorance breeds ignorance only. It continues to breed bondage only. And this is the essence of realization of the Tattva-darshinaha, Pandita. That is what it is saying. But that word nava.
Sir, illi one thing. Here the actual song in English is there, sir. The song of Simonius. I'll just play it. Maybe you can see it. You can see it. Then maybe we can get to that, sir. 1 minute. Here you see. He says, "Strike off all all thy fetters, bonds that bind thee down. Of the shining gold or darker, baser ore, love, hate, good, bad, and all dual throng. No slave is slave, caressed or whipped, not free. For fetters, those of gold, are not less strong to bind. Then off with them, sannyasin bold."
So I think, see, this Kannada song was not necessarily translated, but the essence was taken and rewritten by Kuvempu. That's what you said, right?
Correct.
Because, here the examples being given in Kannada are about how karma is a bondage.
Correct.
How papa leads to papa and how punya leads to punya.
Yeah.
and this is a bondage. Whereas that essence is not coming in that English thing. Or is there a different stanza in English?
I think this ಕೀರ್ತಿ ಕಾಂಚನ ಎಂಬುದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಲುತ್ತಿದ್ದು
ಹೌದು.
ಅಲ್ವಾ? that's the first stanza. Then let's see the next stanza here. 1 minute. ಅದು ಕೀರ್ತಿ this stanza. Here you see the who sows must reap, they say, and cause bring must bring the sure effect, good, bad, bad.
Correct.
And none escape the law.
Yeah.
But whoso wears a form must wear the chain.
Chain. The bondage, the chain of the bondage. Whoever thinks that I am a mind and body is already bonded.
Correct. Too true, but far beyond both name and form is Atma ever free. Now know thou art that sannyasin bod.
Correct. So essentially, realize that beyond the name and the form is you. And only when you realize that your true nature is beyond the name and the form, can you be free from this apparent Maya Jala.
Yeah. Correct. One minute. I'll go back to that stanza, sir. Okay.
Mele.
Yes. Okay. Endu Panditararu. ಆತ್ಮ ಎಂಬುದು ನಾಮರೂಪಾತೀತವು, ಮುಕ್ತಿ ಬಂಧುಗಳಿಲ್ಲದ ಆತ್ಮವು ಸರ್ವನಿಯಮಾತೀತವು.
So this is very clear. So realize that Atman is beyond the name and the form. So the only way out of this bondage is by realization that Atman, that is you, is beyond the name and the form. Because all this Maya, all this bondage is in the name and the form. As long as you think of yourself as one of the name and the form, that is you as one of the body and the mind related form, then you are within this bondage. And the only way out of this bondage is realize you are that pure essence, which is already free and beyond name and the form. Tattvammasi endu
ಅರಿತು ಸಾಧುವೆ ಹಾಡು ಚಾಗಿಯ ಹಾಡನು.
So tattvammasi, you are that only, you are that essence only, you are that pure essence only. Realize that. And Chagi, we already established that word last class. Sanatana. Yeah. So this Sanatana, Chagiya Hadanu. This is the eternal truth. Realize you are that. Realize this eternal truth and then sing. So in a way, Vivekananda is calling out for us to realize and to spread. The nature of this realization is, it is like how the bird sings, no? Irrespective of who is listening, the bird wants to sing. So the essence of this song is, it is not to be contained. It is to be sung, to be spread. Atmano mokshartam jagaditayacha. So it is to be realized, and in that realization, it is something that you naturally feel like it has to flow, because the Sanatana has been flowing. It has to flow. Just yesterday only our Saravananji had a graduation ceremony. In that graduation ceremony, our Saravananji is now Gnana Jyoti. So first of all, let's all congratulate our Gnana Jyoti Saravananji.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, sir.
It was very nice yesterday. I was very happy to see, the whole, you're coming with that Jignasu. Very nicely said.
So now what is the call of action that all our Gnanajyotis have been given by Prabhuji? Prabhuji has said, now realize the light, be the light, and spread the light. So spreading the light, it is not like I have to spread the light. It is just but natural, just like how you breathe, just like how you exist. This spreading is just light. Sun is there. He doesn't have to put any effort. He's there. He's simply shining, and light naturally spreads. So, like that, the very innate nature of this realization is you spread. Spread what? That joy, that peace, that happiness, that enthusiasm that naturally just comes with this. Comes with what? From the realization that you are free. Realization that you are that. From the realization that you have nothing to gain, nothing to lose. From the realization that you've always been free. That peace and happiness and joy is your innate essential nature. So it's that. So therefore, again and again, Vivekananda is saying, Hadu chagiya hadanu. Because Hadu means what? A song. Hadu means what? Like how our Arjunji sang. So all of us now have caught up with this song, right? So he's created this pravaha now. Now all of us are enamored by this song. So see that song is now flowing through all our heart. So like this, he is now Jyotu se Jyotu jagavo. So that light is now, he is lit within our hearts. So like that, Vivekananda is constantly asking us, Saru Siddhane Vishwa Ariyali Hadu Sannyasi. He's saying, oh, the realized one. Siddha means a realized one. Oh, the realized one. Saru Siddhane. Sing it. Sing it. Vishwa Ariyali. Let everyone in this world hear this and realize this. Hadu Sannyasi. Sing, oh Sannyasi. Each one is a true Sannyasi. Each one is an Atma. And Atma is ever detached from all these afflictions called karma. So each one, therefore, he is boldly claiming everyone as a sannyasi. Not by dress, like Prabhuji also said yesterday. Not by dress you are a sannyasi. But by realization, everyone is a true sannyasi. So saru siddhane. Sing. Om Tat Sat Om.
Beautiful, sir. See, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಿದೆ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್, ಆದೊಡೇ ನನ್ ತಾತ್ಮ ಎಂಬುದು. ಆದೊಡೇಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಸರ್? ಆದೊಡೇ
ಅದು ನೀವು ಕನ್ನಡ ಪದ ತಂದ್ರೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಬೋದೇನೋ. ಅದು ಆದೊಡೆ
ಆದೊಡೆ ನಂತಾತ್ಮವೆಂಬುದು ನಾಮರೂಪಾತೀತವು. ಆದೊಡೆ.
Actually, you can also share the Kannada script. Maybe that. Yeah, the original.
So the last part of that is very clear, Arjunji. Atmanu nama rupa titanu. Okay. Atman is beyond names and form. That is very clear. Yeah. Adode. So ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪದ ವಿಭಾಗ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬೋದು.
ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಒಂದೇ ನಿಮಿಷ.
ಆಯ್ತು. ಅಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ರೀಡ್ ಮೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೀಡ್ ಮೋರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದೊಡೇನಂ
ಆತ್ಮವೆಂಬುದು. Something like that. I couldn't understand that.
See, ಆತ್ಮವೆಂಬುದು ನಾಮರೂಪಾತೀತವು. That is very clear. ಆತ್ಮವೆಂಬುದು ನಾಮರೂಪಾತೀತವು. Atman is beyond names and form.
Yeah.
Okay, that is what the Last phrase is Atmavembudu Namarupatitavu. So alli Atma, then the rest of the words are Adodenamta. Adodenamta.
Adodenamta.
Adodenamta. There is Atmavembudu. ಆ ತರ ವಿಭಾಗ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಆತ್ಮವೆಂಬುದು ನಾಮರೂಪಾತೀತವು. ಅದನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಮೊದಲನೇ ಪದ ಏನ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? ಆದೊಡೇನಂತ. ಆದೊಡೇನಂ.
I just could not understand.
Eternal. Ananta.
ಆದೊಡೇನಂ.
Ananta, sir. Adode Ananta.
ಆದೊಡೆ
Ananta.
ಅನಂತ. ಆದೊಡೆ ಅನಂತ ಆತ್ಮವೆಂಬುದು. ಓಕೆ, ಆ ರೀತಿನೂ ನಾವು ಪದ ವಿಭಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಒಡೆಯ ಆತ್ಮ ಇಸ್ ಒಡೆಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಲ್ವಾ?
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಓಕೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ತರ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಸೆಟ್? ಕಟ್ಟು ಮೀರಿಹ ಯಾವನಿಹನೋ. ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಬಿಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬಾಂಡೇಜ್? ಓಕೆ, ವೆರಿ ನೈಸ್. ಕಟ್ಟು ಮೀರಿಹ ಯಾವನಿರುವನು. That word, because there he is raising a question. He has talked about this bale, all this bondage, but then he is raising the question, Kattu miriha yavaniruvanu. Who is there? Is there someone beyond this bondage? Kattu kattane iruvudu. Bondage only leads to bondage. So this question, who is there beyond this bondage? Endu panditarembaru, male tattvadarshigaleembaru. So the ones who realize the essence are saying this. What are they saying? Adode anantam atmavembudu namarupatitavu. What is their realization? All this is right. What? This bondage is there, that there is suffering, papa leads to papa, punya leads to punya. All this is right. But there is one central realization of the Pandita, Tattvadarshi. What is that? Anantam Atmavembudu Nama Rupatitavu. This eternal Atma is beyond names and form. Adode. Right. All this is right. What? Whatever you said earlier about Papa, Punya, Karma. But Adode, the owner, the one who is beyond all this, Kattu Miriha, Yavanirvanu, who is beyond all this bondage, is Atman, who is beyond names and form. And that is you. Tatattvamasi. ಅದನ್ನೇ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಮುಕ್ತಿ ಬಂಧಗಳಿಲ್ಲದಾತ್ಮವು ಸರ್ವ ನಿಯಮಾತೀತವು. ಮುಕ್ತಿ ಬಂಧ, there is no liberation, there is no bandhana. Mukti bandhagalilladatmavu. Atman doesn't have either bondage or liberation. Sarva niyama atitavu. It is beyond all the rules. Sarva niyama. Niyama is limitations, rules. Sarva, all. Atita, beyond. Sarva niyama atitavu. That essence, tatattvamasi, that essence is who you are. Tatattvamasi, yandaritu. Realize that. Hadu chagiya hadanu sadhuve. Sing this eternal song. Oh, sadhu. Hadininda echcharisu malagiha namma ee tainadanu. Saru siddhane vishwav ariyali. Sing this so that let the whole world hear this song. Hadu sannyasi.
I think this was the essence of what Prabhuji also shared yesterday with
Yes.
Jnana.
Yes.
Go and spread the light now.
Yes.
Hadu Siddhane. Now that you have become that.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So nice, sir. Thank you so much. It's so beautiful. I think if we realize this song, life is realized, or we are realized.
Yes,
It
sir.
looks like that.
But look at the beauty of how we all arrived at this. You know, each one brings one light, and together it becomes bright.
Yeah. And it's so important to understand that words, it's unbelievable. And whom all we should give credit, sir, here, grateful to. Like, for example, Swami Vivekananda, when he's alone in Thousand Island Park in New York, nobody there, in that cold weather, what made him to come out with such a kind of song? And then derivation of that song to an inspiration is Kuvempu.
Yeah,
Because without him, we could not realize this song.
correct.
And then Purushothamanji, who sang this song.
Yeah,
And now you giving this meaning, unbelievable it is. Oh, how beautiful life is. And we all are so grateful, such an amazing stuff early in the morning. When the whole world is sleeping, and Sunday morning, I think most of the world is sleeping. We are awake and we are having such a conversation. It's amazing, sir. Amazing.
very nice. Yeah. So,
Aparoksha.
to the power of the satsanga.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Anything else anybody wants to share on this song before we jump into our today's Aparoksha Anubhuti?
No, perfect. Vijayji. Yeah.
All right.
Can we just do a 2 minutes meditation, sir? Now that so much has seeped in, before we go to the next topic, can we do a 2 minutes meditation so that it just sinks into our system? That's what I'm.
Definitely, sir. Would you like to lead us? Just give us some guidance and we will follow that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Close your eyes. Become aware of whatever is happening around you, the way you are feeling, something which you're hearing, something you're feeling on the skin. Slowly shift your awareness, your breath. And feel the breath as it is moving into your nose. Feel the subtle feeling of the cilia or the hair of the nose inside, moving up and down rhythmically. And as you're feeling the breath in the nose, you can also feel that it is moving up into your Ajna chakra. Maybe you can feel the pulsation of your Ajna chakra. And as you're feeling the breath in the nose and the pulsation of your Ajna chakra, slowly feel the breath moving downwards to your lungs. The lung is expanding like a balloon. And as the lung is expanding like a balloon, you can also feel the stomach bloating up and down. And this very breath, which has started from the nose, has reached the Agna chakra and the lungs, the stomach, Every cell of your body is pulsating with this very breath. As it's pulsating, it is not just the breath, but beyond. The beyond could be the song, the meaning of it, of the song explained by Vijayji. Just feel the essence of it throughout your body. In silence. The whole essence of the song is pulsating throughout your body. That small breath, the tiny breath which entered your nose has spread throughout the body. Giving the experience of Sarvam Kalidam Brahman. It is there in the tiny particle. It is there throughout your body. It's there outside your body. It is there everywhere in the universe. Just be there. Everything is so integrated. It's one integrated whole. The air, the nose, the pulsation of the Ajna Chakra, the lungs, the stomach, entire cells in the body and the universe. One integrated whole. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Slowly become aware of the expansion of the stomach and the relaxation of the stomach. The expansion of the lungs as a balloon and the deflation of it. pulsation of the Agnya Chakra. The feeling of the breath movement in the nose. The brightness on the face. And you are enveloped with the light and the only light of the self. And count from 5 to 1. Only at the count of 1, open your eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2. Feel the experience of the light. The Jagat Jyoti, the Atma Jyoti. 2, 1. Become aware. Put on your eyes. Rub your face, neck, and place your hand before your eyes and slowly open your eyes.
Thank you very much, Arjunji. Anybody wants to share any experience or any points?
Frankly, sir, I felt that I was not guiding, I was being guided. That's what was the experience.
Excellent, Arjunji.
And also I was wondering, like Sarvan Kaluna Brahma also explained, and the whole process, what happened was I experienced it. From the tiny particle to the everything existing, that's what I experienced in the whole process.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Shall we take the next step? So, in our Aparoksha Anubhuti contemplation, we so far have completed day 1 talk by Sri Prabhuji. We've contemplated day 1 talk. Now we are in the day 2 talk. And in the day 2 talk, we have so far seen this question, second question, different words to point at the true self, like Niramaya, Nirabhaso, Nirvikalpa. So in our last 2-3 weeks, we've been going word by word also, as well as we have last session we have contemplated. So we can begin today by each one starting with the first question. So each one of you can share briefly your view on first question. The question is, I am not the body, not the mind, not the intellect. What is this process? What is that is being negated here? How does it even help? This is the question. Shall we begin from Shubhaji? Are you there, Shubhaji?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
This is more to do with the neti thing we talk about. So what I understand is when we associate ourselves with the body and mind and the intellect, that is when all the limitations come in the picture. So it is mainly because we associate us that duality comes in the picture. So I remember you sharing a few days back a quote by Ramana Maharshi. Knowledge and ignorance of the mind, they are born of duality, but the self is beyond knowledge and ignorance. It is light itself. So if I have to bring in that quote here, whenever we associate ourselves with the body and mind, that is when all the limitations happen. So when that ignorance is gone, so we realize we are a Brahman only. So that's how I see this question, sir.
Very nice. Does anyone have any question to Shubhaji? Shubhaji, you knocked everybody out. What a punch, Shubhaji.
I can't explain in too many sentences, sir. It doesn't come to me like other Atma Jyotis. It's like I understand in one or two sentences. That's it.
That's why you are a Panch Vakya Mata. Very nice.
You have been very kind, sir.
But just repeat that body and mind. What did you say? Can you repeat that?
When we associate ourselves with body, mind, and intellect, that is when all the limitations come in the picture. When we don't associate that we are Atman only and Brahman, so that is when all the problems are
So the finiteness, when we think that we are not finite, when we are realizing the fact that we are infinite, not that finite.
Yeah, when we are Ananta.
Ananta.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very nice, Shubhaji. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Rupaji?
So, what's the limitation being negated? So, as a body, we think we are the sir, I'm not able to explain.
Okay. All right. You want to listen to others and then maybe share your view?
Yes, sir.
Sure. Yeah. Meanwhile, you can consider what is that this does. I am not the body. I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect. Nanu nanembudu nanalla, ee deha mana buddhi nanalla. Why is it important to negate this? Or what is it that is being negated through this process? And by negating, when I say I'm not that, how does it even help you? So take the question in a very simple personal viewpoint and
Sir,
see.
shall I try now?
Yeah.
When one thinks that is the body, mind, and intellect, he thinks that he is the doer. He knows everything. He is the one who knows, and he is the enjoyer. And so when one realizes that he is not the body, mind, and intellect, he realizes that he's infinite, and that is the his thought that he is small is being negated.
So how,
That is,
for example, by saying, I am not the book, I am not the mobile, I am not the water that I see in front of me, I'm not the shirt I'm wearing. So through that, you're saying you're recognizing who you are not, but how that recognition suddenly becomes infinite? Your thought process so far is very clear. You're recognizing what you are not. And by saying, okay, I am not this, what I see as a body, what I see as a mind, intellect, buddhi. How does that help you to take a leap from finite to infinite?
when we come to know about the characteristics of Atma, and when we are doing nididhyasa, we come closer to our real self.
Okay. Here the only negation you're doing is, I am not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect. Right? In that whole phrase, Nanu nanembudu nanalla, ee deha mana buddhi nanalla.
Yes, sir.
This is the negation part, right? Then comes the what it is part in the next part of that Mahavakya. Satchidananda Shiva Nanu Nane. Correct?
Yes, sir.
But the question is, how does this negation, this first part, which is what I am not, how is that helping? And you said that helps me to realize that I am infinite. So by negating finite, how do you become infinite?
Because until then, one thinks that he is he's different from God, and once he realizes that he is Shiva Swarupi, maybe I didn't understand the question.
Okay, is the question not clear?
Can you repeat the question, sir?
Sure. See, the Mahavakya, the phrase is, Nanu nanembudu nanalla, ee deha mana buddhi nanalla. So something I am not. What I am not? Deha, mana, buddhi. I am not any of these. So I am not. It's like saying that I am not the shirt I'm wearing. I'm not the glass I'm wearing. So like that, what I am not. So that is what we call as negation. Neti, na iti. Not that. That is what the first part of the Mahavakya is. Then the next part of the Mahavakya is Satchidananda Shiva Nanu Nane. I am that Sat Chitananda Shiva. That is what that sentence says. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now the question is, the first part of the sentence, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. Through that negation, what is the limitation that is being negated? Within you, what do you feel is limitation? What are the different limitations that you experience? Let's make it very personal conversation. What are the limitations that you experience?
Sir, as a body, I feel I'm very small, and yes, I feel small as
As a
body.
body, you also may feel, for example, you have one type of a body. Then, there are so many other types of bodies. In comparison to that, you feel, okay, another type of a body may be better. This type of a body may not be better. Or certain part of the body may be better. So these are all the various, it is okay, it is not okay. That feeling comes, correct?
Yes, sir. And some joy and sorrows are always there. And so I feel incomplete always. When we negate all these things, like when this neti happens, the only thing that remains is the truth, and the truth is that we are one with God only. We are not different than Him. So when this happens,
let's go slowly. Let's go slowly. See, now you are negating body, correct?
Yes, sir.
When you say negating body, what does it even mean? What do you mean by negating body? How do you say I'm not the body?
Because the body is changing since our birth. We can say that it's not real because it keeps changing, and the subject never changes. The body we have is the object.
So the changing body is not who you are. You are saying that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. When you say I'm not the mind, what are you negating?
Yeah, the feelings in the mind, or the mind itself is changing, and it is not the same all the time. So the change is there, change is even there, present even there.
So what do you call as mind? What is mind that is changing?
Mind is the collection of thoughts, and our thoughts are sometimes pleasant and sometimes unpleasant.
So you are able to see that
feeling
that is also changing.
Yes.
Yeah, please continue.
And
when you say not the intellect, what do you mean by that?
I know a few things and I don't know a few things. That makes me feel limited.
But knowing
But,
and not knowing, isn't it related to your mind? How is that related to your intellect? When you say buddhi or intellect, what is the faculty that, see, what is the faculty that body is giving you?
ability to discriminate.
Ability to discriminate is what is intellect, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And that seems to be kind of, the one which is guiding even the mind and the body, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Because thoughts come, that is what you call as mind.
Yeah.
But which one to focus on, which one to say yes to, which one to say no to, is where, you say, okay, I've made a decision.
Yeah.
It is your decision making that helps you to move in life, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, you are recognizing something called as an intellect or buddhi, and therefore you are saying that, see, it's like a order, right? Body is guided by mind. Mind itself is guided by intellect.
Yeah.
Is that agreeable?
Yes, sir.
So now you are step by step, you are negating.
Yeah.
Now, when you negate intellect also, your discrimination also, what happens? What do you mean by negating discrimination or this buddhi? Body, you said, the body is changing, so I'm not that changing. Okay. Mind is also changing. I'm not, therefore I'm not that. Okay. What is this? I'm not the intellect.
No, sir, I don't know, sir.
Anybody like to chip in?
They also won't be the same, sir.
Meaning,
Sometimes we act wrongly. Sometimes we'll be right in whatever decisions we take.
that is the outcome of the decision. But here, not the intellect, the power of the discrimination. Buddhi is what? The power to discriminate, the power to decide. Correct?
Yeah.
So, how do you say you're not the power to discriminate? Are you not the buddhi?
Not the buddhi.
Body you negated by saying it is changing. Mind you
Yeah.
negated by saying it is changing. And I'm aware of the change. Okay, perfect. Intellect. How do you negate intellect? Not the intellect. What does it mean to negate the intellect?
If I am the intellect,
Hmm.
then it should not change. Then why does my decision change? Sometimes I take a right decision, sometimes I go wrong.
Your
If I
decision changes based on the information you have. For example, yesterday you knew only how to count till 10. You counted till 10. And if I had asked you, can you count till 45? You wouldn't have. Today you may know how to count till 45. So the information has changed. So you are now making you say that, oh, today I'm making better decision than yesterday. Tomorrow you may turn back and say, oh, yesterday my decision was incorrect.
No, not like that, sir. The decision, yeah, it depends upon the situation, but sometimes I make wrong decisions as well.
Fair enough. See, right or wrong decision, you're saying by outcome, isn't it? See, for example, you say that, okay, I want my child to come back home by 6:30 and sit and study. Okay. And let's say today you employed the tactic of threatening the child. If you don't come back by 6:30, you know what will happen? Okay, and you saw some outcome. And let's say that outcome was not according to what you wanted, which is child did not come back at 6:30. Child came back at 7:15. And when you started threatening, the child either burst out with anger or the child was crying. Let's say that's the outcome. Now you say that, oh, I took a wrong decision, right? Now, why did you choose to, the fact that you used your intellect to make that decision? That outcome of the decision may be right or wrong, or maybe according to what you wanted or what you did not want, okay? We are not worried about, at this point of time, outcome of the decision. We are asking the question, when you say you are not the intellect, within you, you use certain discrimination, certain decision-making faculty to say, okay, I will choose to act this way. Why are we negating that also? Not the intellect. Is that what we are negating?
If it is the same, then I think the decisions should also not change. It should be the same always.
See, we are not talking about the like the body and the mind. We are not talking here of intellect as a, oh, it should be the same. Every day I have to make the same decision. No, we are not talking in that sense, right? Intellect is the power to discriminate, the ability to discriminate. The buddhi is, is the one which functions to guide the decision-making process in the mind. And when the decision is made, then it is carried out through the body. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, what are we negating then? What are we negating?
The baby that is born will not be as sharp as we are now.
Is it really?
But as it grows, it becomes sharper.
As it grows, it gathers information.
Yeah.
But still it may end up making wrong decisions. See, just because you have more information doesn't necessarily mean that you make the right decisions in life. Today, more than any other time, all of us have access to all the information in the world through Google. But still, are you and I making the right decision?
Is it because as we grow old and suppose if a person gets Alzheimer's or something, then the intellect won't be functioning as it was functioning earlier?
You can say that the memory is reduced. So therefore, intellect is like, say, for example, you have a bowl and you have something being cooked. Okay. The fire to cook is intellect. But depending upon what you have in the bowl, let's say you have, for example, 1 liter of milk, the fire is the same. It may take, say, 10 minutes to cook at certain flame. Now, let's say if there's only half a liter of milk, fire is the same, but it may take only lesser time than the 1 liter, right? So, the content is like milk. Alzheimer's patient has less content, has forgotten some content. But the intellect itself, the ability to discriminate, the ability to use that flame is still there, right?
Yeah.
Even Alzheimer's patient may, if you give a hand to shake, may shake the hand, may remember few things. What is your name? The Alzheimer patient may remember his or her name, may have forgotten about his or her relationship to the person who's asking the question. Imagine there is an old father who has Alzheimer's and the child of that Alzheimer's patient. And the child goes, the father may have forgotten that it is my child. But if the child asks, what is your name? the father may still say, my name is. So to say my name is, intellect still has to be used.
Yeah.
So we cannot say that the flame has gone away. The intellect has not gone away. The ability of the, the ability to discriminate, to decide has not gone away. So what are we saying here then? Not the intellect. Shilpaji, would you like to take a? Would you like to share your view?
Yes, sir. So intellect helps to discriminate, right? I mean, that's when we decide what we have to do. So while using that discrimination, we can develop detachment, vairagya.
Correct. But when you say I am not the intellect, how can you say I am not the intellect? That is a question. I am not the body because I'm seeing the body changing. Okay, perfect. I'm not the mind because I'm able to see the mind changing. So I'm something which is not changing there. Okay, therefore I'm not the mind. But intellect, how do you say I'm not the intellect?
So
What is intellect?
represents ego.
Come again?
I'm asking you, I'm sorry. Does intellect represent ego? So that's what I'm saying, that I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect. Like,
I'm not the
doing away
intellect.
with
Take an example. See, even a small baby, say for example, a 1-year-old baby, if you ask a question, let's say you hold in front of the baby a glass. What is this? The child may say glass. Okay. But that small baby may not, if you ask the next question, whose glass is this? The child may not necessarily associate as my glass. So for example, the shirt that the child is wearing, small child. What color is the shirt? Yellow. Whose shirt is this? May not already say my shirt. Right?
Yes, sir.
So the me and the mind part of the thinking process is the ego, but the ability to discriminate, the ability to decide which color, blue color, white color, that among the spectrum of colors that the child may know, it has to choose one answer, right?
Yes,
That
sir.
is the power of the intellect. That is intellect. That is buddhi. Is that bringing clarity?
Yes, sir.
So now tell me, what do you mean by I'm not the intellect?
Sir,
Yes.
few may be more sharper, then few may be a little dull. Intellect, if it is like that, which changes, then we are not the intellect, sir.
Sir,
Okay.
one will want to know too many things to become infinite. So, and that is not possible.
Okay.
So that person may feel that is that he is small and very limited.
Fine. That's all fine. Right now, the focus of the question is the third part of that negation. I am not the intellect. Yes, Arjunji.
Sir, actually, if you see, Dhritarashtra also had the intellect, Sanjay had the intellect, Arjuna had the intellect, Krishna had the intellect. Okay. Now, in each of the cases, it was giving a different output. Okay, and this could be output of ignorance, output of delusion, output of just stating what is, and the output of the jnana. You know? So if you see from the intellect point of view, from that point of view, each was using this as an instrument which was changing from one to another. But when the light was shining through, the intellect was having a lot of clarity and giving everything clarity. You know? So actually, that light which shone through was the reality, not the intellect, which was just a tool or a guide or a medium. This is my understanding, sir.
Excellent. So again, now summarize, please, Arjunji. So how do you say, how can you negate I'm not the intellect? The body and the mind, we are negating because we are noticing the change, right? How do you say you're not the intellect?
Yeah, because the intellect, I'm not the intellect because the limitation of the intellect is, first thing is I'm not the intellect. The reason is, who am I? I am that unchanging, and I am that, like, intellect may differ from one person to another person, but the awareness part remains the same throughout the universe, immaterial of who the person is. And that unchanging reality is me. That's what I would like to share. That unchanging reality is me, not the changing aspect of the intellect, or the this intellect is more like a changing phenomena.
It
If
is
it's
also
unchanging,
changing.
yeah. If it's unchanged, if we say the intellect is unchanging, then we should all have had the Krishna state of intellect. You know, even he was using the intellect as even though we say Krishna was awareness, but he was using a medium to convey to Arjuna to his body, mind, and intellect. But the body, mind, and intellect, what was shining through was awareness, pure awareness, like it was not becoming a rainbow. It was the pure awareness. The white light was coming out as a white light. But in Arjuna, it was a prism of colored light, and that became the delusion. In Dhritarashtra, he could not even see the light. Okay, so that is the that unchanging phenomena of awareness is who I am.
Very nice. So yeah, but shifting the focus to the first part, right? The negation part. So the first two are negated by simple observation that body, mind are changing. How do you negate the intellect? With your analogy or with your example, what you are saying is, I may make the decision in the same situation differently. So even the decision-making faculty is changing. Therefore, I'm not the intellect. Is the simple argument.
For example, when I'm very clear, my decision may be different. If the intellect is the one which is constant, then in any situation I should be taking the right decision. Then if I'm taking decisions which are, that also is changing, decisions are changing. For example, if on an operation table, if I have got, let's say, a patient, I may see with a different thing, I may do the operation. But if I'm operating my own family member, suddenly my discrimination power will be totally different. Okay, then what happens? The intellect is diluted there. The discrimination power is diluted.
So even the discrimination, the decisions is what we call as buddhi, right? Okay, they have made the decision. They've used their buddhi to make a decision. So even that is shifting, is changing.
That is also changing. as per the situation. And when I'm in awareness, for example, I met one lady who was the only person whom I met as a gynecologist who delivered the baby of her daughter through cesarean. And I asked her, what made you? Because I never come across a doctor like you. Her name is Dr. Delhi. I remember her name also. So then I said, what made you to get into that kind of situation where you could operate? This was a choice or because you are forced to do that? She said, no, I myself had decided that I am the best doctor available for my daughter. And like any other patient, I need to treat my daughter. So this discrimination power is so clear. So actually the intellect would have been different for another doctor. But this doctor was very clear. It means she was allowing the light, because the light of that has been through her so much that she had an absolute discrimination power of not being attached and completely being detached. And that is the power of the intellect. And this light, the awareness, is the one which gives that kind of changing phenomena of the intellect. We can change from one situation to another to be constant. And that constancy comes from the light of awareness.
All right. Rupaji, does this resonate with you?
Yes, sir.
So how would you now say you're not the intellect?
When one has the clarity that he is the Sakshi, then he knows that he is not the intellect.
See, you're making a jump there that I am the Sakshi. So I know I'm not the intellect. Okay, so which is I'm not denying that. I'm only asking you to dwell upon how can you come to the clarity that you are not the intellect. In the case of the body, you have a very clear, observable, experience-based answer. Hey, the body is changing. How can I be talking about the change if I am not noticing the change? So therefore, it is very clear, body is changing. So I cannot be the body because I am something that is aware of this change. Who I am, that is a separate question. But at least I am not the body. That much is clear. Similarly, mind that you call as nothing but the thoughts, a bundle of thoughts, collection of thoughts, you're able to notice that it is changing. Continuously, different thoughts appear, disappear. So you can say that I am not the mind. Similarly, how can you negate you are not the intellect is the question.
Sir, I would like to add something to what Arjunji said. I concur with what he said. But I would also like to add that
Sure.
the intellect is again conditioned. It is conditioned by, mainly it is conditioned by our emotions. Like the example of the doctor that he was giving. Again, there is a conditioning of a doctor there, which is very, very, I mean, it is more prominent in her than the emotion that a mother might feel for a doctor, for a daughter. I mean, that's why that clarity came to her when it was required. So similarly, I feel that again, emotions are changing, right? It is changing all the time, depending on our experiences and what we have been, what we have gathered from the society or from around us. So intellect, although it is a decision maker or it has the ability to discriminate, it can still be colored by the emotions and our conditionings. So Also, there is this is one point, and the other one is there is something beyond the intellect also, right? The intellect cannot function on its own. So there is a power that is giving, there is a light which is giving power to the intellect as well. So that is how I can negate the intellect, that I am not the intellect, because it is again colored. It is colored by what the senses, the emotions.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
Deepaji, how would you now summarize? Do you agree, first of all?
Yes, sir. I'm not the body, because the body, when I have some kind of ailment, I feel sad. And when I'm healthy, I'm happy. So I'm not the body, because my emotions are depending upon how my body is. So it's changing. Then I'm not the mind. Sometimes I'm happy and sometimes I'm sad. Again, it depends upon the emotions. So I'm not the mind. Then I'm not the intellect, because like Arjunji said, in the example that he gave, the mother actually was the same as a doctor to her daughter. But when it comes to, suppose I am a doctor and I am also dealing with such situation, then I may not be the same like that doctor. So here the intellect changes. So I'm not the intellect. Then the question would arise, who am I?
Correct.
When I look beyond the body, mind and intellect, then I would think about it, and I may try to see what I can do to get the answer for this question. And that may be the reason many of them come into this path of spirituality, to understand who am I. And how does this negation help? Yeah, this negation only will help me to realize who am I.
So by saying I'm not these, then who am I becomes a natural question.
Yeah.
Then it kind of works as a journey to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shilpa ji, how would you summarize?
So I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, and I'm not the intellect, is like Arjunji and Padmaji explained. As the body, like about the intellect part, it is the awareness. There is something beyond the intellect that exists. So when I say I'm not the body, I'm not the mind and intellect. So honestly, when this question was put across, I was thinking about duality. As the world operates on duality, and our body is also, we are constantly live in duality. So when it is said I'm not the body, mind and intellect, I'm looking beyond that, and it helps us to get in touch with our true self, and helps us to become detached, and releases us from bondages. So I think I've not been able to put it across properly.
No. Please see, what we say starts becoming our reality.
Yes, sir.
So, most often, out of some kind of when we express anything, what makes you feel that it is not a complete expression? How do you say that whatever you expressed is not a complete expression?
So because I feel I've not, I've gone tangent. Like when everyone is explaining a certain point of view, I'm not in line with that point of view. Means of course I agree and I understand, but then I've gone in another angle, I feel. I mean, of course, duality is the third question.
Which is okay. So, but the question I'm asking you to consider is, what made you feel that you may not be expressing it completely? As an example,
okay.
you go to a small baby and ask this long question. The small baby will simply remain silent.
Yes, sir.
Is it a wrong or an incomplete expression? Now you go to maybe someone who has not even come into Vedanta, they will have some expression. Now you go to somebody who is starting to learn Vedanta, they will have some expression.
Yes.
You go to somebody who you consider as a mature, some expression. Now you have like that, range of expressions. Is any one expression less, more, complete, incomplete? So what is making you feel that, oh, it may be incomplete expression?
So it would be my intellect that is telling me, yeah.
There is a concept of what is the right expression in your mind.
Yes.
And as your expression is coming out, there's a constant comparison happening. And somewhere that tells you maybe not, it is not exactly, the sounds are not exactly the same, the emotions are not exactly the same, so therefore it may be incomplete. It's only in comparison such a statement can come, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But is that even relevant?
No, sir, it's not actually.
So therefore, let's not worry about what you expressed. Is it complete, incomplete? That's for others to judge. And whatever you do in this world, realize that there may be some judgment. Okay, so you cannot be worried about that judgment.
Yes,
you
sir.
know the story of that husband, wife, and the donkey, right?
No, sir.
Okay. So there was this slightly old husband and his younger wife walking with a donkey in hot sun. And after some distance, some people he heard saying, such a young and beautiful wife in this hot sun is making her walk. He thought, oh, okay, so they are saying that, okay, let me make her sit on the donkey. So he made her sit on the donkey and he was holding the donkey and walking. After some distance, some people heard saying, what a old fool. He is walking and he's making his wife sit. He's a slave of his wife. Now he got upset. What to do? So he thought, okay, let me also climb on the donkey. So he climbed on the donkey. So now both he and his wife are on the donkey, and the donkey is walking. After a while, some people saw this and they said, what a cruel people. Look at the donkey. It seems like, it will fall anytime. And look at that fellow and look at his young wife. Silly fellows, must be truly cruel. What this world has come to. So he heard such a saying. What to do? Now they decided a clever idea. So he and his wife both lifted the donkey and started walking. And after a distance, some people saw that and started laughing. ROFL. You know all these acronyms, right? Shilpaji, you must be knowing. You know, right? ROFL.
Yes, sir.
LOL.
Lots of love.
So people were ROFL, LOL. Okay. Idiot fellows. Have you seen anybody carrying donkey? Okay, now tell me, Shilpaji, is there any option that they can execute which doesn't get a comment?
No, sir.
Nature
Actually,
of the world is to comment.
yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, you're saying something. So this is the story of the donkey and the old couple. And not completely old couple, old husband and young wife. So what's the relevance of this story to what we were discussing?
Yes, sir.
No, what is the relevance I'm asking?
Okay. So the relevance is to put your thoughts across, and so I don't know how to put it across, sir.
You're right. Your feeling is right. To put your thought across and to leave the judgment part to all the others.
Yes, sir.
There is no way ever you can control what they judge.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, excellent. So now what is the essence of the answer for the first question in your way?
So, so constantly identifying with body, mind, and intellect is the limitation as per the question that is being negated. So, and how does it help us? It helps us to get in touch with our true self, and helps us in detaching. That is because I feel that as we are constantly living in duality, there is for everything, like for happiness, there is sadness, anger, and peace. So it's if we can go beyond the duality, it is when we identify as I'm not the body, not the mind, not the intellect. That is when we can feel the essence of Brahman.
Excellent.
So that is what I feel.
See, your feeling is in it by it complete, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Your feeling arose within you, it expressed, it culminated within you.
Yes, sir.
That act of expression is complete by itself. There is nothing right or wrong, lesser or higher, superior or inferior in that. It is as if saying that a small baby, baby 1 and baby 2, one baby is crying or one baby is laughing is better than the other baby is laughing or crying.
Yes, sir.
Fair enough. Arjunji has something to say?
Only one clarity is, was my thinking right in the way I expressed, and is
Yeah.
this what defines?
Yeah, let's dwell on this question. See, therefore, what is the Vedanta's Viveka? Vedanta has given us a very simple Viveka. What is that? That which you can see cannot be you. Very simple Viveka. I see the mobile, I cannot be the mobile. I see the shirt, I'm not the shirt. I see the glass, I'm not the glass. I see the body, I'm not the body. I see the mind, I'm not the mind. I see the functioning of the intellect, I cannot be the intellect. This is the simplest Viveka Vedanta has given us. What I see cannot be me. What is intellect? That is the discrimination. We dwelt up, so far we have analyzed it thoroughly. The decision making. So the power to make the decision is inherent. Based on what you make the decision, that is the content of your mind, that keeps changing. Based on that, your decision may be somewhat right or better. It can be more better. That's why there is no perfect decision. It's a continuum, isn't it? Decision is always continuum. You always say, if only I had the same wisdom that I have today, you know what I would have done? We go and preach our children. You foolish, you fool, listen to my wisdom. After these many years, this is the wisdom. When I was in your age, if somebody had come and given me this wisdom, I would have done things differently, drastically differently. So there is a kind of a wisdom that we say is nothing but experience. With better experience, we are making better decisions. That's all it is. Yesterday, I knew few things and I did not know few things. What I did not know, based on that, I might have made a wrong decision and I might have failed at it. As an example, I went to write my math exam yesterday and I knew only one chapter and I saw that there were questions from second chapter. I failed. Oh my God, I don't know math. I came and I studied today 5 chapters and I went to exam and I could get 4 out of 5 questions. And now I say, oh, I have done better. But still I didn't get the 5th question. So it's a constant evolution. So just because I made one decision and that was that turned out to be the outcome not as per my expectation, doesn't mean that I do not have the power of the intellect. The power of the intellect is the ability to discriminate, the ability to decide. That is inherent in you. That is inherent in a small baby also. That is how it learns. That is how you are learning. However, based on what is it in deciding? The content of the mind, isn't it? If let's say you never was given how to speak Kannada by people around you, you today would not be speaking Kannada. Only because you heard the sounds of Kannada and people have told you what it is, you learned Kannada, you can speak Kannada. The ability to speak a language, or that the inherent ability to learn and to discriminate, is already there. Whether you're a Kannadiga or a Tamilian or a Telugu or a Chinese or a French or an Italian, whoever you are. But the way you express, if I ask you, tell me something, a beautiful poem, If you are an Italian, you will say some Italian poem. So you decided to choose a particular poem and sing that. But now the sounds coming out of your mouth, I may not understand because I know only Kannada. So therefore, the power of the intellect is inherent. But what we call as the decision or what we call as the buddhi, we generally is nothing but based on the content of the mind, we are deciding. So the decisions is what we calling as intellect. Oh, you know, what a wonderful decision they made. So like Arjunji said, you know, that doctor example. Now the doctor has come to that crystal clear clarity that I can operate as a doctor independent of my role as a mother. How has she come to that clarity? Maybe through her life experiences only, no? Something in her life has made her feel it's okay. I can stand outside of being a mother and I can perform my role as a doctor without giving heed to all the emotions, all the turbulences that come to my mind when I become a mother. It is the same turbulences that Arjuna experienced and he could not perform his duty. Oh, my grandfather, my friends, my parents, my relatives. Whereas Sri Krishna could stand above all this. What enabled Sri Krishna to stand above? That is what he taught as Bhagavad Gita. So when Arjuna also realizes Bhagavad Gita, he also realizes that I have the same power of the intellect as Krishna. That is why, you know, the whole imagery of Bhagavad Gita, we all know, you know, that that whole thing that we see, right? That chariot image. The chariot image is the essence of, in one sense, Bhagavad Gita, no? We all have dwelt upon that. I'm just seeing whether it's in the front or at the very end. This image. Here, the 5 horses represent our 5 senses. Then this Krishna represents our intellect. Arjuna represents the individual consciousness. I am someone, I am something. This whole chariot represents our body. In this picture, when I do not have Krishna's intellect, means what? Krishna's wisdom means what? When I have not yet realized the world, life as is, I still function in my lower nature of when Arjuna was deluded. And when the same body, when Arjuna's consciousness was raised by Krishna's wisdom, it now has the intellect of Krishna, meaning the buddhi now has the ability to use higher level knowledge of who I am. In that, what kind of decisions are made? Now the decision, the nature of the decision is totally different. Now there is, instead of fear, there is courage. Instead of sadness, there is peace. Instead of anger, there is complete ability to be at peace with whatever somebody has done. So like that, the lower level expressions have got replaced by higher level expressions. How did that change happen? In the same body, in the so-called same mind, the decisions are now different. That doctor was peaceful in operating on her daughter also. However, what is the simplest logic Vedanta gives us? That which you see cannot be you. You can see the function of the body, you can see the function of the mind, you can see the function of the intellect also. So therefore, what you can see cannot be you. You must be something other than that. Who you are is not in that expression. That expression is simply pointing at who you are not. It is pointing at who you are not. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect. How can you say that? Simple. What I see cannot be me. I can see the body, meaning what? I can see the changes, birth, growth, decay, all that which I can see in the body. Mind, I can see the patterns of thoughts coming and going. My memory did not have something yesterday, my memory has something more today. So I can see the mind also. I can see the functioning of the intellect also, the decision making. I can see the decision making happening. Yesterday I did not have the wisdom of Krishna. I cried. Today I have the wisdom of Krishna. I'm peaceful. In the same situation, the situation may be some nearby death. Situation may be loss of money. Yesterday, loss of money would have 5 rupee loss, would have made me cry. Today, 5 crore loss, I'm peaceful. So I can see the functioning of the intellect also. So whatever I'm able to see cannot be me. Because to see something, there must be a seer and something that is being seen. So this negation, like all of you rightly said, is essentially, okay, if I'm not this, if I'm not this, if I'm not this, because what is life? Life is nothing but, combination of these three only, no? If you really think about it, it is combination of these three. You decide something, and that you call as your buddhi, and that through your mind, you execute through your body. And what you keep on executing through your body is what you call as your life. You want to eat something, you decided what is that you need to eat. Or depending upon my circumstances, I should not be eating this, I should be eating only this. Organic food is good, so let me eat organic food. So you've decided. So you go seeking organic food. Okay, where are the organic stores? Who really produces organic? So now see what you call as your life. Some people may come and say, oh, these days you have changed a lot. Earlier you would come to any roadside dhaba also, but today you only want to seek organic. Yeah, I've become now, I understand what is right. So like that, what you call as your life is nothing but based on your decision, what flows out, isn't it? So the point is, all of this is in you. Someone who is able to see all of this. What you are seeing cannot be you. That's the simplest logic Vedanta is giving us, is teaching us. So, by negation, it is not saying it is not there. It is not saying drop it. It is simply wanting you to become aware of something that is not changing. By saying that I'm not the body doesn't mean that stop or ignore the body. No. That is not what Vedanta is doing. It is simply helping you to recognize that, hey, so far you thought you are the body, but realize you are not the body. How can I realize? What you see, can it be you? Simple logic, right? I see the mobile, I cannot be the mobile. I see the glass, I cannot be the glass. I see the body, so I cannot be the body. Oh, great. So it is helping you to recognize, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect. Oh, so what is that it is helping me then? How is it even helpful by recognizing I'm not the body? Body means what? Body means it's a limitation of the space. I feel I'm limited as a space because I feel I'm a body. As a body, I can be here and I cannot be there. As a body, I am this body, then I cannot be that body. So there's a feeling of lack, a feeling of limitation, desha. So body happens to be in a particular space. So desha, limitation of the desha is because I feel I'm a body. I cannot feel others' pain because I feel only this. As long as I have a very strong association to this, I don't feel somebody else's pain. To hell with whatever happens to others. I have to be always having the pleasure. I have to travel in a big SUV. For that, I'm ready to do whatever it is. Why? This has to be very pleasant. How that whole thinking process has come? Because I feel I'm this. So from I am this, the whole thinking that I am ready to do anything for this to be pleasant. So I am a body brings a limitation of desha. Then I can only be here. I cannot be there. I can only have this pleasure. I cannot have that pleasure. So desha. When I see I am a mind, what is the limitation? Kala. Mind is nothing but time. Right? So it's in the mind that you can go back, you can think about today, you can go into the future. When I feel I am the mind, how nice my childhood was. We keep on lamenting, no? That time when we were young, so nice. But today, don't ask me, what the world has come to. And there's one famous, there's a book, and the book starts with this phrase. In our childhood, it was such a nice world. But today, look at the young generation. And the author asks the question, can you guess when this statement was made, the statement that I just now made? In our childhood, when we were young, the world was very nice. But today, look at the youth, such a horrible, right? So when do you think this statement might have been made? When do you think this statement might have been made? Just reflect on that question. You all would be saying that statement today with respect to your own children, isn't it? You all would be feeling, when I was young, it's such a nice life. But just go back, maybe 20, 25, 30, whatever, when you were in childhood, don't you remember at least some adult saying that in front of you? When we were young, it was such a nice place. Which means that those adults were also feeling that. And the author then exposes this answer. Author says, this statement was found in a book in the 16th century. So some author in the 16th century has written that statement based on what he was observing in his society. Which means what? Which means always the mind is stuck in the past. Somehow it says, okay, that was nice. And this, no, not at all. So it imposes a limitation of the time. As a mind, you have a limitation of the time. Because it is there that you get bound to I was and I am, and this is how I will be. So as a body, desha, as a mind, kala. You feel you are limited. You're only this. I can only be this. I can only become that. So there is a limitation. As an intellect, jnana. I know this, I don't know that. That's why I'm able to make this decision. Oh, they are very bright, they are very sharp. I am so dumb. So like that, all this comes because of I get associated with my intellect. Wrongly, I call it as the jnana. I don't have that knowledge. So I don't have the knowledge becomes a limitation in my mind as, oh, I know something, I don't know something. So this jnana bandha. So desha, kala, jnana. So these are the three limitations that I impose upon myself. As a body, I become limited in space. As a mind, I become limited in time. As an intellect, I become limited in my knowledge. I only know this much. I studied only commerce. How can you ask me a physics question? Or I have only studied about nose. How can you ask me a question about stomach? Like that, there is a limitation. So as any of these three, I feel I am bound, I am limited. Are you truly limited? Are you truly any of these changing? Is the fundamental question that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, is raising. It is not giving you an elaborate answer, but it is raising that fundamental question. Because this is the basis. This is the basis of awakening. The important thing is to recognize what you are not. Now later, Vedanta is in a way, funny science. Initially, it says neti, neti, neti. And through that, it says, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect. Then it also goes on to say, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. So which means that body, mind, intellect must also be Brahman. So let's not worry about that already. But right now, as a beginning step, this is very important. Any questions, comments?
No, sir.
All right. Then let's end our today's session with prayer. Rupaji, you were leading us with the prayer, no?
So only one thing is,
Yeah.
the whole gist is, what I see, I am not.
Yes.
That's the gist of the whole thing, sir.
Yes. Whatever I'm able to see, how can I be that? I must be the seer.
The moment I say I am the seer, then I am not that.
Yeah.
Because the seer himself cannot see himself.
I mean, you can recognize the seer through your jnana. You can recognize that, okay, I am the seer, I am not the seen. But there is no seeing the seer.
Yeah.
Rupaji?
For example, I'm in deep peace is recognized. But if you were to ask me, explain and show me how you are in deep peace, I cannot. Even I cannot do it for myself.
Yeah.
Same way, no, sir?
Yeah. You can be that, but you can explain that. There is no way to explain deep peace.
Yeah.
You can simply be that.
Correct. But one thing, Vijayji,
Yeah.
the Sunday morning is made so beautiful with this. It's a beautiful foundation in the whole process.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing.
Yeah. Definitely, Arjunji.
So this is a Saturday evening party, no? This is our Sunday morning party. Okay, thank you.
Right foundation for the whole week.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Rupaji?
Yes, sir. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead me from untruth to truth, darkness to light, impermanence to permanence. Om, peace, peace, peace. Om, Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, that is complete. This is complete. When completeness is removed from completeness, what remains is complete. When completeness is added to completeness, totality remains complete. Om, peace, peace, peace. Nanu, Nanembudu, Nanalla, Ideha Manabuddhi, Nanalla, Satchidanandatma Shivananu Nani, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. I am pure consciousness, Shiva Swarupi. Atmadarshanam, Brahmadarshanam, Brahmadarshanam, Satyadarshanam. Recognition of the self is recognition of the whole. Recognition of the whole is recognition of the truth. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityormukshi Yamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityormukshi Yamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityormukshiyamamritat. We worship the three-eyed one who is fragrant and who nourishes all. Like the fruits fall off from the bondage of the stem, may we be liberated from death, from mortality. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. May all beings be healthy and peaceful.
Thank you very much, Rupaji. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om, sir. Thank you.
Hari Om.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.